my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature somewhere. And Starlight definitely did get out today. Kind of did a boo-boo, but she did get out. And it was a beautiful day in my area. All week has been really beautiful. I don't know about where you are, but I hope you're getting out in nature, and I hope that you are being that change that we really do. We need, like if everybody just did their part, this whole world would be a better place to live, not just for the adults, for the babies. This is why Starlight has a YouTube channel in the first place. I have grandkids. It's about their future. It's not about Starlight's future. It's about our grandbabies, our grandkids, our grandsons, our granddaughters. So if you really care about your kids, and I know you do, or your grandkids, your grandchildren, how many do you have? I have two boys, grandsons. So this is really what I am doing is for my grandsons, and not just my grandsons, but for your grandchildren, your granddaughters, and your grandsons. So, like I said, if we all worked on ourselves, a little bit each day, this whole world would be a safer and brighter place for the next generation coming up. So anyway, Starlight really loves you. I hope you were able to get outside, enjoy the beautiful weather, and it is so beautiful out in my area. And also, like I said, to work on yourselves, and don't forget to watch what you're eating, because it will affect you either a good way or a negative way. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Digman. Plus, if you want to be that change in the world, that way when you be that change in the world, then we can see the change in the world. Is that if you want to be that change in the world, you can give this video a thumbs up. Plus, don't forget, you can leave a message down below, beep, 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 and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget the notification bell. I thought I fixed that. And you can also follow me on Instagram, and that is at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Digman Starlight. So, one more. Don't forget to check out my playlist. There is a lot of different titles, topics that you might want to check out. Different things that could help you or your family members. So anyway, don't forget to check that out. And now Starlight is jumping into the new topic of the day. And this happens, I think either sometimes it happens to people when they are born, because I have a couple family members, and I have learned a lot on my two family members, but I have two family members in my family, my father and my sister, that can't see. My daughter, not my daughter, I always kind of say my sister's my daughter, but she's kind of like my first child, really, is that with my sister, she was born that way. And with my father, he was partially born that way, then later on ended up having an accident at his work. Plus, later on, he ended up trying to get cataracts, but it ended up making his eyes even worse. So he is totally blind. He doesn't even know what any of his kids look like. So how many of you have to wear reading glasses? These are not really the ones that are my prescription ones, but these are freebie ones that I got somewhere. Do you have to wear glasses, to read that small print that really, it seems like it gets tinier? And I'm going to take these off. Whew. So how many of you have to wear glasses? Maybe, I bring them with me when I go to the store, because I wouldn't be able to read all the labels. I want to know, okay, what are they sticking in the food? Are they sticking plastic in your stuff? they might be, depending on what you're eating. Wouldn't it be good to know that first before you just ate it? But anyway, besides eating plastic for, your beverages, Starlight's got a tongue twister here, is, like reading labels for medications or medicine. When you go to the store, you want to know, okay, like how much do I need to take? What is this going to do? What are the side effects? Whatever you need to search. So I noticed, they say, I think like after 40, people's eyes start changing a lot, and I can't quite remember. That might have been around the time that, I was starting to realize that, wow, I used to be able to read this, and now I can't really read that. I actually need help now. So how many of you either wear eye lenses or whatever, stuff for those little, I forget what they're called, but they, what are those things called? But you could stick them in your eyes, and you don't have to look like you're wearing glasses, but it helps you to be able to see. I've seen them all over. Sometimes Starlight gets a brain freeze here, but or you wear glasses, or there might be a different way now. These days it's hard to say with the technology they have, but how many of you have issues reading stuff? So a lot of people have to wear glasses at a certain age, when you get older. And like I said, some of you might have been born that way, where you had to have glasses as a little kid, because I've seen lots of little kids wearing glasses around in the public, out at stores or out on the street somewhere. So a lot of people do have problems with their eyes, where they really can't see quite like they used to, or maybe they just always had a problem with their vision. So, well, Starlight learned a lot from, my family as far as being blind. And it is funny, I'm guilty of doing this myself, but I really just want to stay on the topic. It's so easy to get off track a little bit on certain topics here. But as far as your eyes, when you start realizing that you were lied to, and that everything in front of you is really not what you think, when you start knowing, and this is hard to explain, but when you start realizing that you are in a virtual reality, and have you ever questioned about life? I have my whole entire life always had questions. I drove my dad nuts when I was a kid. Why this? Why is this? What? All these. And if you have kids, you know what that's like, and it's a beautiful time. Don't discourage your kids, your little toddlers, or your year-olds, or 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, all those ages. Please let them ask questions, and be that good parent out there that will find that answer. Don't just give them any answer to shut them up. If you don't know the answer, just say, what, I will find out. I'm going, because you could teach them, hey, right now I don't know. That's a really good question that you're asking me, because how old were you when you were trying to figure out, how did I get here? Well, I know my mom and dad got me here, so there's a certain age, that the kids will get, where they're like, well, okay, I know I got here because, my mom, it wasn't a bird. Hope that's not what you told your kids, where they came from. You told them that they came from a bird. Okay, but, when did you let them know that where they really came from? I hope, they came from mommy's belly somehow or another, right? So anyway, with parents, with your children, is that, you do want to be honest with your kids and give them the right answer, and not just to shut them up by just saying anything, because it impacts their life. They're learning so much, and you just want to be wise on what you tell them and be honest with them right from the start. But that is really not what I'm here to talk about. But that is related to what I'm talking about, is, we all been lied, and your mom and dad has been lied to, and I've made videos after videos on this topic. And I was sitting somewhere in a restaurant, and it is strange when you start realizing things that you didn't realize before, when you believed that all of this was real, and you're thinking, like this brick wall behind me. Starlight has a thing for brick walls or stone walls, but this brick wall behind me, this is my favorite room, is that you might say, well, Starlight, I could see that brick wall, and you keep on trying to tell us that everything's an illusion, even on that chair you're sitting on, all this. And I did recently talk to a man not too long ago, which was a trip, is sometimes Starlight will do this if I know that there's somebody up to no good. Starlight just like, okay, I gotta play with this man's mind. I gotta do something to get him out of here, make him think I'm crazy. But sometimes it backfires where I'm like, oh no, this is not really working out. I thought I would make him think I'm mad and crazy, or maybe I need some medications. But it backfired. So I was saying, hey, because I knew he wasn't being real and honest with me, and he was just a player looking to play, and Starlight was not interested in, no, we're not going to play. And so that man, I can't say gentleman really, I like, hey, I'm going to have fun with this. I said, hey, I'm going to mind, I really said it in a different way, but I'm going to mind blow you. I'm going to blow your mind, is something like that, Starlight said. And so I asked him, I said, hey, can I blow your mind? He gave me permission, so I just was having fun. I was just trying to figure out ways to get him to decide, maybe I should not stalk this girl. And but like I said, it didn't work. Ooh, sorry, I got an itchy nose. But it's funny because I said, like, all this is an illusion. And he agreed. I was like, how did this happen? This is not, I was supposed to find a man that would think I was nuts and crazy, but here he's like, oh yeah, this is all vibration. He believed that part, but he didn't believe when I said that war was an illusion. Then that's when he had issues. Well, if this is all an illusion, how is it not possible that the war that people keep on getting men and women or babies, from the school, and why is this school? I really do. I question this all the time when I talk about this topic with the military. Why is the school system allowing military men and women to try to win your children over to send them to a war? Why? Doesn't make any sense. A lot of times that maybe when your kids go to the Army or the military or the Navy or whatever service is out there might not be a war going on. Maybe, you want to just see your kids get disciplined. Maybe there's a lot of times parents who are not good parents, and they're like, wow, I did a crappy job. So, and I do know people that went through this. They like, they were just not good parent, where they encouraged their kid to go to the Army, figured, hey, I couldn't raise you up in a good way, and yeah, I was a bad example to you, so here, I'll have the government, the military people to bring you up and to be hard on you and to discipline you and teach you that you've got to wait, and teach you that you can't have things when you want, and where they would learn discipline, and they would learn to obey and to submit, so these parents, they're out there. Or sometimes I do know relatives that their mom and dad or their dad might have been in the service, and I do know people that weren't related to me, is that how did that father discipline the kids? Woo! You wouldn't want to, when they did something wrong, it was like push-ups, sit-ups, and all this stuff, which I think is a better way to discipline your kids than to beat them, don't you? So that is what I witnessed before is, and the dad was really strict with how they were doing those push-ups. Push-ups are hard to do, so, and these boys, they were learning to use their muscles though. The father, I didn't see any wrong in what he was doing and he did. He acted like, he was a sergeant, and he was on those boys, and he had all boys. They didn't have any girls, where I was like, wow, so it was a good way to discipline their kids. But even that with the military, if this wall here that you see behind me, is an illusion, don't you think those tanks out there is an illusion too? But the people that died and the people that got hurt, that is not an illusion. Now that's a tough pill to swallow. Now how do you explain that? Even if you get in a car and you get in a car accident, there's a movie I watched a long time ago. I still have not, I try to look this movie up, but, or even in The Matrix, the documentary, when I watched that, when Neo was up on top of the building and they were going to see if he was the one, if he could jump from one top of the roof to the other top of the roof on way up top, way up in the air. They wanted to see if Neo could actually jump and get over to the other side without falling, and he actually had something on his head, where he was actually in a game, like a reality game, like what we are now. But it was strange because when he jumped, he didn't make it over to the other roof of the building, and he ended up falling, and it felt real, just like a dream. Have you ever fell or flew or any of that in a dream? Have you ever experienced fear? Have you ever experienced sound in a dream, color in a dream? So some of you don't even dream. Okay. So it is kind of hard if you never could remember dreams. There are people out there, I'm like, I'm really big into dreams and I like studying them. And, where I've asked a lot of people, hey, do you dream? And I was trying to help them out so they could dream. And I was amazed how, a lot of, but that's not always, that's not true. What it is that they don't recall dreaming. They are really dead sleeping and they don't recall their dreams for whatever reason. And I actually, have you ever had dreams? I've seen aliens in my dreams. Recently I seen a really, really cool looking alien. It's like, wow, but I don't think that one was really a good one. But when it comes to dreams, have you ever which is a nightmare to me, is when your teeth fall out of your other stuff is horrible, or you're with your ex and you're actually in the dream, you're in a relationship with them, but you're really somehow or another, that you have a different life besides that dream, that you're like, how did I get back in this mess, kind of thing. It's like, and it's a nightmare, especially, I have to say all my exes were a nightmare, but, so bad. Yeah. So, hey, if they were not a nightmare, I would be with them, right? So, anyway, with that is have you ever been shot at in a dream or chased at in a dream, or have you ever killed anybody? I've killed people in my sleep, They kill people in their sleep. They do. They just whatever. However, Starlight is out. I have to say, and it's not good if you do this in a dream, either I'm going to run and hide to get away from you, or I'm going to come at you. I'm going to defend myself, and I'm going to kill your ass. So what is the difference? with a dream state, or when you wake up in the morning. How would you know the difference in the morning when you wake up? Are you really awake, or are you dreaming? So that is the thing, is when you start having not these two eyes here, because those babies deceive you, like Starlight has got these babies on, is, now I can actually see better with these on. But that is what it's like when you're, not that it's like that, but when you open up your third eye and are awake and aware, and don't brush your teeth with the fluoride, or drink the tap water that's not filtered, and when was the last time you checked that, baby? Or filtered water in your refrigerator, is that water really filtered, or has it been like 3 years since you changed the filter in your drink? So that fluoride in your water or in your toothpaste it messes up your third eye. I can't remember how to word that name, but your third eye, there's a part with your third eye where it will mess that up, so you don't get to wake up and know the truth of the reality is. So, and what I've been learning, like today was a real trip, is like, I was just sitting inside of a restaurant. Whoops. And I was just watching the cars go by. And I was so aware of, look at this matrix. It's just like mind-blowing. And I know I have to make my videos shorter, so I don't want to be too long on this video, is that you will start noticing things, and the rules all change when you start noticing different things or glitches. Somebody asked me this not too long ago, like this happened not too long ago at the library. There's a lady, and it's so weird, like she looks the same. And I was going to the library at different hours. It didn't even matter what time, but I would go edit my videos and kind of get more private and have my space. And every single day in that one of the 3 rooms that are available, if they are available, and I would sit down, get my computer all set up, and that lady would go by the door, and it's a glass door, so you can see everything outside that glass. And I'm like, there's that lady, next day at a different time, sitting there getting everything all set up in the study room, and it's a different time, There's that same lady, looks the same every single time. Even like my therapist, every time I see my therapist, I swear she's never aged. I mean, I've been seeing her for years. Her hair looks like it gets cut. Her clothes, they always look the same. Like they're always like plain earthly colors, but there's certain things that are going to stand out, and you really got to pay attention, like they had in the Matrix in the documentary, is with a black cat going by and then seeing another black cat go by, and it's like, you start noticing this stuff, just like have you ever noticed mistakes in movies? Well, that's when you start waking up to the reality that you're in right now, that you're like, you see stuff that you never noticed. And I do want to say this, because I kept on wanting to have the title of this, is like you kind of have to think like a thief. And Starlight knows what a thief is like. I was there, I'd done that, been there, done that, even got the t-shirt, even been locked up in jail for that. But like a thief, I would love to make a video just on a thief, but because I know so much about a thief. I don't steal anymore. Starlight, that one night in jail, when I was 16 or 17 years old, that was enough for Starlight. But some people don't ever learn after that. But a thief, what does that have to do with any of this, Starlight? Why are you going to talk about a thief stealing? Well, A good thief, now I know that's kind of weird, just putting the good on a label of a thief, but okay, we'll say, well, they're not smart either, right? Because if they get caught, how many, but a thief that knows what they're doing is they use everything around them, the people, the things around, like the matrix, they use it as a tool. They use people as a way of getting away with stuff, and they use material stuff like in a store, as ways of hiding and blocking so nobody sees them stealing, because Starlight used to work for professional thieves. 3 days later, after she left her parents' house, 16, I don't even think I was 16 years old, and I was, got a job, not illegal, but, with this job, I was like, wow, it was amazing the things that I learned about thieves and what you could get away with right in front of people. I could sit there in a store, and that's the neat thing about this matrix, when you realize that this is all an illusion, is that you realize there's different types of people around in your neighborhood or in your community, and there's those that are awake, those that are asleep, and then there's the other ones, so with a thief, they will sometimes, depending on where they're stealing and what they're stealing, they will use other people to set them up for the fall. So, they're really, like the ones that are actually, I don't want to say smart, but the ones that are, I can't even say wiser either, because it's not that wise to be a thief, but the ones that know what they're doing is that they will set people up for the fall. And, they will set it all up like a stage, and, they might steal something at somebody's house, and they will know who's there on that day, and then that's when they will steal something, and that way, then when somebody realizes something is stolen, then that person is thinking, who was there that day? Who was there that day? Well, my brother was there that day. Well, he wouldn't have stole it. So this matrix is what I've been learning now, is that it's kind of fun and interesting at times, I'm not saying all the time, is that people are so distracted. They got so much in their headspace, their problems, their relationship, their family, their workplace, where they live, their neighbor, their, all kinds of stuff, that their headspace is so full that, you can do stuff right in front of people and nobody does anything. And that's how a thief gets away with shit. They know that people are not really paying attention. And that's why you might not be awake yet to see what I am talking about the Matrix, is because you're so distracted in life. You're so distracted on what's going on in your head. What are you thinking about? What are the thoughts that go in your head? Is it about work? I don't want to go to work tomorrow. I don't want to go back to the wife and kids. Huh, guys? Or I don't want to go back to the husband, because he just lays around the house and doesn't do anything, or doesn't pick up anything, or doesn't help me out with anything. Or, I don't want to go back home where the wife is, because she's always nitpicking everything I do. I never can do anything right. I'm always in the doghouse. What is it that I did this time? So it just goes on and on. Or I don't want to go back to the house because I am tired. I just need a vacation. I am, the kids are always crying. They always want me for something. How did I get in this situation in the first place, having a family, but here I am stuck, I am not happy. So, people get a lot of thoughts going on in their head. And how can they realize that there's stuff going on out here when they're so distracted in here? And then on top of that, the news, the news, where they have all kinds of horrible, sad stuff going on, or talk shows, and drama and gossiping about the Hollywood stars, plastering them all over the news and all over the TV and all over the magazines, and or the new next movie or the new next technology, or what's going on with the presidents, and who's the president, who is the president, what's going on, like, are you moving right now? Are you thinking about moving away? Are you thinking about giving up? Do you, like, are you happy in life, or do you ever have enough? Are you always wanting more? Is it just, are you sad, depressed, angry, upset, happy, confused, lost, at days in life because the pieces don't fit? The pieces of the puzzle don't fit, right? You can't even force the pieces of the puzzle to fit in this world. You could try. Starlight loves doing puzzles. You know how many times I actually had a piece that looked and the shape was so perfect and everything I thought, and then here I am trying to put that piece in there. And you know what? It fit. It actually fit right in that spot. And but then how come this piece over here is not working? Well, because I got this piece in the wrong spot. And that's how this whole matrix stuff is. That's why you can't figure out anything, and that's why it's never going to make any sense, because it never was to make any sense. It never was to make any sense. You're never going to make any sense of the way this whole reality, the third dimension reality is because it's built with lies. How can you put it together? How can you fit the pieces together? That's why it's so important to be honest. Like in a relationship, if you're not being honest, or open or understanding, and to admit to when you're wrong, how is anything going to work and function right? So you really got to ask yourself, are you being honest in life? Because if you really are searching for answers in the world, you got to be honest. And I there's somebody I would love to tell that to. They want to know the truth, but they're not honest with themselves. They're not, well, actually backwards. They're not honest with other people. Then they're not honest with themselves. So how are they going to figure out what is really going on? How is this all an illusion? How to make it to make sense? It's because they're not being honest with anybody in themselves. They're not going to ever figure it out. So in order to figure out what is going on, you definitely got to be honest with other people and yourself, especially yourself. I mean, it's one thing to lie to other people, but if you're lying to yourself, that is where you're not going to figure out how this whole thing works and why things don't fit the way they should. So I know I'm supposed to be shorter on my videos, but I had to keep on going. So anyway, really, the more you are honest with yourself and stop getting distracted, stop letting the news distract you with a bunch of lies, stop worried about the next new video. Starlight doesn't even know the next. I have to watch something on the YouTube channel to find out the next new movie. I don't pay attention. I haven't even watched a movie in years, probably 2 years now. I have not watched a movie, and because I am so busy with my life trying to be that change I want to see in the world. So, if you want to really understand what Starlight keeps on talking about, this is an illusion, is that you have to get undistracted. You have to work on yourself. You have to, take care of the things that are close to you, the things that mean the most to you. So anyway, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to shorten my videos. I've been doing so good. But anyway, I do love you, and I really hope you get some help. You can give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe. You can leave a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. Don't forget the notification button. And you can follow me on Instagram, and that is at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. So I know I just could have gone on this topic. Believe me, I had so much to talk about on this, but I am really trying to work on shortening my videos. But thank you for forgiving me. And so anyway, I do love you. This is Starlight. This is Starlight. Love, light.